Oh golly, OG, I sure do love offering nothing of value to the world on a regular basis. It's my favorite thing.
Kirby characters kissing.
Oh, 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 jeez, oh, what was that? Oh, something's gotta change right now. Yeah, we'll make a video. Fine.
So, why is Kirby doing that? What is this image? Why is this real? Why is this canon? Well, you see, it's from the Super Nintendo game, Kirby Superstar. You'll just be playing through the levels, having a gay old time until all of a sudden, you're having a gay old time. It was this pivotal feature of the game that made making this video a necessity. No, not this fantastic soundtrack or the plethora of game modes or the classic retro graphics or Kirby punching his own planet clean in half. No, none of that. Do you think the game's artists and programmers got a little kick out of animating and testing this feature for hours and hours on end? Just slaving away at their computer, hunched over, creating those sprites, making the animation, and then maybe testing to make sure that animation works like 50 times over. I would. But anyways, let's not get too distracted by this, as hard as it may be. I say we just talk about the game and its selection of modes. Gourmet Race, a classic. The premise of this one is that you're racing King Deity while collecting food, and whoever collects the most food while running the fastest wins. There are only 3 races, which makes it a short and sweet side treat to the rest of the game's main course. I don't know why the music sounds so, Slavic. It's probably because people in Russia don't actually play normal sports. They just kind of run around and in the cold and pick up stray pieces of cake and ice cream. I mean, that's what I'm assuming. I don't live there. Megaton Punch is another mini game, and this one all you do is time your A presses well enough so that Kirby may summon the strength and will to level a fucking city. Not a sustainable sport for Kirby and his friends to play, I will say. Just one A press and then thousands killed, displaced, and homeless. The last mini game is Samurai Kirby, and this one is really simple but really fun. All you gotta do is press A before the opponent, kind of like a quick draw duel. On the harder difficulty, this shit is almost impossible. You have to react in 14 frames or less, otherwise Wheelie over here is going to be paying for your college education. I think you're literally just guessing. It's ridiculous. And why is the R red? That's it for all the minigames though, but the first real mode is titled Spring Breeze. But it might as well be called a minigame because it's only 10 minutes long. And it's just the Game Boy game. It makes sense though. This is supposed to act as sort of the tutorial for the rest of the game, and it's actually got levels as opposed to the other mini games, so it's got that going for it. It's nothing too crazy, nothing really out of the ordinary here. What? The story is pretty much the same as Kirby's Dream Land, so if you know, you know. But if you don't know, then that sex scene is gonna really catch you off guard. There's just really not a lot to say about Spring Breeze. It's so easy, it's like a spring breeze, but sometimes that can be a really nice thing when you're intoxicated or really like the music. Next up is Dynablade. Whoa, Dynablade. This sounds fucking awesome. Okay, so if you thought Spring Breeze was peak, man, Dynablade is like Spring Breeze on steroid. It's like slightly longer, and there's a world map, and there's a dragon bird thingy that you can kill in 3 seconds, and then I'm sorry. I still can't get over the fact how they just make out like that. Why is that a feature? It's never been useful. Unlike Spring Breeze, Dynablade has a different story. There are birds, and there's an evil bird. He slices the mountain in half, and the flowers in the cutscene are like, oh shit, oh fuck. And then after you kill that bird, the Wispy Woods and Kirby, they take custody of the kids, and then they raise them. Alright, so maybe the story's not important, but the levels are pretty solid. I mean, it's nothing you can't breeze through in like 15 minutes, but there's some breezy Kirby fun. What's kind of neat about Kirby Superstar so far is that a lot of it is non-linear. In fact, all of the games highlighted on screen are available to play as soon as you start a new save file. There's no restriction on the order, and if you want to unlock the next mode, Revenge of Meta Knight, all you have to do is beat Dinoblade. That's it. You don't even have to play Spring Breeze or the Great Cave Offensive. In my playthrough, I just skipped the Great Cave Offensive temporarily to play Revenge of Meta Knight first, and man, that was such a fantastic decision. Revenge of Meta Knight is fucking badass. It went from, little birdies, yeah, to executing multiple highly minacious military-scale incursions into a dreadnought the size of the Titanic, all of which is realized by a salmon-colored wad of gum. This mode is unpredictable. You're on the battleship Halberd 1 second, and then you're blown off, and then you come back, and then you fall off again, and then you come back, and then you fall off again, and then you come back, and then you fall off again, and then you come back, and then you fall off again. That didn't actually happen. With no end in sight, there is no way to predict what area you'll go to next, which makes the mode much more interesting. It's like if the first level of Mario 1 started when you fight Bowser, only for him to punch you so hard it sends you all the way to Uganda for some reason, and then you have to play a Uganda level, but then once you find him again, boom, he kills you again, and now you're playing a level in Detroit. Who the fuck wrote this? Something so cool about getting on the battleship, and then the enemy's dialogue are like at the bottom of the screen, and they're like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh my god, Kirby's coming, guys, we're fucked. And then Kirby just absolutely rips and tears through everything that appears in front of him. Honestly, this mode is proof that all you need to do to make an awesome Kirby game is to have Kirby try and overthrow the government or something like that. It would be awesome. What is Meta Knight getting revenge on? Story of Revenge of Meta Knight is fairly straightforward. Using the battleship Halberd, Meta Knight intends to take over Dreamland and put an end to its lazy lifestyle. Kirby attempts to stop him by trying to land on the Halberd with the Warp Star. Okay, so he's not getting revenge. And there's no revenge. There's no revenge at all. Okay, never mind. I don't like this mode. All right, so next up is the Great Cave Offensive. I'm offended. So this is like if Metroid and Kirby had a child. I regret saying that. Your goal is to acquire as much treasure as possible for the most points, and to do so, you explore a sprawling map that's covered in chests. On paper, this sounds like it would be the most fun mode. I like the idea of it, but at the end of the day, the map is still linear. I mean, if you wanted to, you could just run straight past all the treasure and get to the end of the map and get rewarded for beating the mode. There's just no requirement, really. If you're going for a completionist run, though, then it's something to do. I was almost committed to getting all the treasure, but then the length of this mode gets multiplied by like 3,000. I spent an hour and a half on this one. Every other mode so far has been like 20 minutes tops. It was getting ridiculous. There's this tower section of the map, and let's just say I was ready to finish the mode at this point. It was like, just a little too long for my taste. But then they made the exit really hard to find in this section. I was so stumped I had to put the game down and come back to it the next day. And after what was probably an hour then, I was this close to looking up where the exit of this tower was until I walked over to the left, and then there was just a door. It was the exit. That was the door. It was right there. I didn't like the Great Cave Offensive very much. It was just too long. And I know I just said the other modes were really short, but somehow this one was just too much. I mean, maybe it would help if the entirely skippable tower sequence had, like, I don't know, an exit sign somewhere. It would have helped a little bit. But finally, after beating all the main games so far, we have unlocked Milky Way Wishes, the ultimate mode. At this point, I just raged at the Great Cave Offensive for like an hour, and now you're telling me there's no copy abilities? You're just supposed to find them now? I breezed through this so fast. I got like maybe 7 of them. The story is pretty interesting. I mean, if interesting was a synonym for stupid, the sun and moon are fighting? Okay, I mean, I know this land is full of joyous, cartoonish whimsy, but like, what is going on? To stop this fighting, the little guy named Marx tells Kirby he needs to gather power from the stars around us in order to be able to summon a giant comet named Nova. If he does this, he can wish for anything, and it will get done. Can I get a double bacon cheeseburger? While this mode reuses some things, they still make up for it in the level design. The stages are probably the most challenging out of all the modes, which is expected, but it's nice to experience. There's a level that has you switching between the 4 seasons to progress, which is an idea they actually brought back later in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. After a bunch of the most challenging levels so far, Kirby has finally acquired the stars he needs. And then... Yeah, Marx betrays you at the end, and then with the star power, now Kirby has to go infiltrate another deadly starship by himself once again. But this time, it's a f***ing bullet hell game, hell yeah! After that section, there's a 1v1 face-off with Marx, only now he's a supervillain demigod. Kirby is still Kirby, doesn't really matter. Fight was easy, leave it to Kirby to handle a galaxy-level threat. It's almost hilarious how this game ends. You beat Marx, which single-handedly destroys Nova in a cataclysmically large explosion, and then Kirby just goes to sleep. And that's it for Kirby Superstar. What? What's that? There's a boss rush. You. As whole, Kirby Superstar is a must-own Super Nintendo title. While I had some gripes with the middle, it's nothing that a replay wouldn't fix. This just seems like the perfect little game to replay every once in a while and try to beat in one sitting, just like Donkey Kong Country or Pikmin. And besides, the protagonists, they make out with each other mid-battle. I mean, what else could you ask for? You know, I feel better now. At first I was haunted by visions of Kirby slurping with his friends, and, you know, I had not seen that since early childhood, but now that I have confronted my fears, I feel free. A new man. This was the missing key. Why I stopped playing games and making videos for so long. And now, a new chapter begins.